The River Has Roots by Amal El-Mohtar. This book is so lyrical and fairy tale-esque. If you've read This Is How You Lose the Time War, you get a little bit of the sense of the writing. I fell in love with the writing from the very, very beginning of this book. This is one of those books that you just can have like so many quotes underlined because the writing is gorgeous. This book is not nearly as quippy as This Is How You Lose the Time War. There's not the constant banter and jabs. That's not the type of story this is. This is much more of a magical fairy tale feel to it. While I loved the writing in this book, I was not hooked on the characters or the plot until about halfway through the book. Although I did love the second half of the book and the conclusion of this book. So what is The River Has Roots about? This is about two girls growing up in a family that lives at the edge of fairy. Fairy is this magical land that this river brimming with grammar, which is the name of the magic in this world, runs into or out of. No, I think it runs out of fairy. Most of the time anyway. This is a magical river. There are these willow trees outside the land of fairy that our sisters take care of, and this world is very magical, and music and riddles are very much a part of the magic of this world. This story is ultimately about the bond of sisterhood and how the bond and love between sisters transcends time. This bond between two people who love each other so much transcends people living far away in different lands. And it even transcends death. The magic in this world is not really explained. It has more of a fairy tale-esque quality to it where it's not really explaining the magic, but you just have this very magical feel to the world, and some of the things happen because of the magic in this world. When I very first started reading this book, I was thinking it was somewhat similar to the feel of Thornhedge by T. Kingfisher. We're just getting to know this fairy tale-esque land that they live in and just seeing these characters throughout their daily lives. And then the further I got into the story, I was actually thinking it also compares to The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. I don't think The River Has Roots goes nearly as dark as either of those two, but just the feel of the story has a similar vibe. Especially the further we got into the story, it was reminding me of The Bear and the Nightingale because of the magical creatures that live in this world that interact with this world, and then just how people, humans, interact with the magic and the magical creatures. I listened to the audiobook for this one, and I was listening to it going, I think this book is made for audio. And perhaps that is because I liked the music included in this audiobook, and particularly because the magic system in this book has so much to do with music. I'm not someone who likes full cast audios or lots of music or music at the beginning and ending of each chapter or anything like that. But music done tastefully throughout, or singing done tastefully throughout, can enhance the story. And I also thought the narrator did an excellent job with this book and just kind of brought out the magical fairy tale elements to this story. Because I did not feel as invested in the story in the first half, this is probably a book that I would appreciate more on reread. I would probably pick up more things about the setting, and since I already care about the characters, I would enjoy getting to see their lives earlier in the story. But for the first time reading through it, it just took me a little bit to actually get invested in this story. I don't want to talk too much about anything that happens at the halfway point of the story or anything that continues to happen throughout the story because it is so short and I don't want to give away any of the plot. But Seriously, this book's only around 100 pages, so if you've liked This Is How You Lose the Time War and are looking for something a little bit more fairy tale-esque, or if you're just wanting a short fairy tale story with gorgeous writing, definitely check this one out. If you read this book, let me know in the comments what you thought of it, and I hope to see you in another video. Happy reading!